just out. Silver price collapses in London. You're next. News out today shows the price of silver reversed course in London with a nosedive. Lean into this because silver follows a pattern, and the price of silver in the United States is going to be hit next. I want you to be prepared for this. This is from Reuters, and the headline says ECB cuts rates. That's a shock to begin with. They really were keeping this a secret. ECB cuts rates, keeps next move under wraps. And ahead of the United States. Typically, we are the lead with a move like this. Everyone was shocked when Switzerland made a move, when Sweden, when Canada, when these other countries made a move on their rates, dropped their rates. This has really been shocking because typically everyone, all these central bankers, they work together, of course, but they wait for the United States to make a move. Now, this says the European Central Bank cut interest rates for the first time in 5 years on Thursday, but kept investors in the dark about its next move, given increasing uncertainty over inflation after a sharp slowdown in the past year. The ECB lowered its record high deposit rate by 25 basis points to 3.75%. Could you imagine that here? 3.75%. Joining the central banks of Canada, Sweden, and Switzerland in starting to unwind some of the steepest rate hikes used to tame that post-pandemic inflation surge. Thursday's well-flagged, this is the article, Thursday's well-flagged move is seen as the start of an easing cycle, but lingering price and wage pressures are clouding the outlook and may force the Eurozone central bank to wait months before cutting in again. Now, check out how this has hit silver almost immediately. Often, we see Wall Street have an impact first. When any central bank makes a move like this or an announcement like this, we see Wall Street make a move, and then typically the pattern for silver is 24 hours, at most 48 hours after Wall Street moves, we see the price of silver respond. But interestingly, we're seeing silver respond almost instantly. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's keep going. This article says, while the ECB kept open its options for July, a string of influential policymakers, including board members, have not already made the case for a pause next month, suggesting the next window of opportunity for easing, this is going to sound like us in the United States, the next opportunity will be in September. Economists see another 2 rate cuts from the ECB this year, most likely September or December. So all of us in the States, we are really jealous to see this. I mean, we'll be lucky if we get any cuts this year. And these 3 countries that I just listed, they're looking at not only do they start cutting, but they're looking for another 2 cuts. Now, this helps the everyday person, the regular wage earner. That's where these cuts really help. And that's the frustrating part for us as silver stackers, because we need to note that a cut in interest rates has a great help to us as silver stackers, regular working stiffs, right? Wage earners. That we are the people that really benefit from an interest rate cut, because we are the people that are struggling with credit card debt across the board, delinquencies on credit card debt. Rate cuts will help us. We are struggling with getting a mortgage. All of these first-time home buyers that want to buy up a house during this peak buying season for the housing market, that'll bring mortgage rates down. It helps us as wage earners. What it does not help is people who are or investors who are benefiting from high interest rates. So we really see a special interest in these high rates. So when we see other countries like EU and Sweden and Switzerland, Canada cutting rates, it really makes us regular everyday people as silver stackers, it makes us feel jealous. And now you want to feel jealous. Let's look at the price of silver in the EU compared to the US. You could Google this. I just Googled this today. In the US, we're hovering at about $30.32. In the EU, $27.86. So that is a huge difference. And that's the move that we see and coming down the pike for us. Because when this finally happens, when we finally get to the point where our Fed pulls a trigger and gives us an interest rate cut, we're going to see the price of metals impacted immediately. That this is what always happens. This is the pattern of silver, and this is the specific data that we need to follow and look at, because there's no reason to go into this blindly. There's no reason to just follow the spot price and cross your fingers and hope, oh, maybe magically in 3 days the spot price of silver will change. No, you can look at this data and you can analyze it and you can look at the history of silver and understand exactly where it's going to move.